Okay, so it says the predicate adjective is the subject, is an adjective complement that follows the linking verb and describes the subject. So, what you want to remember is our adjectives, okay? We want to remember what is an adjective. An adjective describes, okay? So it's not a person, place, or thing. It's not a noun. It's something completely different, okay? So we have to really be careful and think of like ideas and colors, thoughts, feelings, things like that, and that will help you know what's going to be our predicate adjective, okay? So the first one says, in the box, blue box, we are on page 282, it says, the sky is red. So first of all, we want to know what is our linking verb, and we take a look at our linking verb list and we see is, right? State of being verb, but also can be our linking verb. So we have is. Now what is? We have our subject sky. Okay, so what is the sky? Now we're describing, so what is the sky? The sky is red. Red is describing the sky, which means that red is our predicate adjective, okay? So then we have the milk tastes sour, okay? Same thing. What is our linking verb? So take a look. We have tastes, right? Okay, so tastes is our linking verb, and what is being tasted? The milk, right? Milk is our subject. And what does the milk taste like, right? It tastes sour. So there's our adjective. That is our predicate adjective. It's coming after our linking verb tastes, and then it's going ahead and describing something by telling me that that milk is sour, okay? So let's go ahead and do think A. So it says, our teacher has been sick. I have not been sick, just so you know, okay? Just kidding. Okay, so I'm well. That teacher's sick. Okay, so it says, our teacher has been sick. So what is our verb? Now, don't forget that we might also have helping verbs, okay? So I want you to remember those. So I want you to take a look. On the list, we have been, right? Yep, that is our verb. So has been, okay? So has been, because has is our helping verb. So we have has been is our linking verb, okay? Now, what is our subject? What or whom has been? Teacher, okay? So teacher is our subject. So you should have write LV above has been, S above teacher, and then you need to tell me what has the teacher been or how has the teacher been. So we know that the teacher has been sick. So sick is describing our teacher. After our linking verb, that means that that is our predicate adjective. So we would write PA above that. Okay, so now take a look at number 2. It says, this pencil is dull. What is our linking verb? Look on our board. Is, correct. So put LV above is, and then go ahead and take a look. What is our subject? What is? The pencil is, right? So pencil is our subject. Put S above that. And then what is the pencil? The pencil is dull. That's describing it, right? So dull is our PA for predicate adjective, and we would write that above dull. Okay, so now number 3. I have been very happy at this school. I have been very happy at this school. So we want to look at what is a linking verb, and we have been again, and we have has been, so our linking verb is has been, so we got to put LV above that, and then who has been, and that would be our subject, which was I, so put S above the I, and now what has I or have I been? I have been what? I've been happy. There's that thought, that adjective describing something, okay? So I have been happy. So happy is our predicate adjective, and you would put PA above the line. Okay? So now take a look at number 4. This one's a little bit longer of a sentence, okay? The picture looks too large for that wall. The picture looks too large for that wall. So it says, what is our linking verb? let's take a look. Look, right? Look is our linking verb, okay? And what looks or is looking, doing the looking, and or what are we looking at? And that would be picture, that's our subject, put S above that. And then what does the picture look? The picture looks what? Thought. It's got to be a thought, an adjective. The picture looks large, right? So go ahead and put PA for predicate adjective above large because it is describing the picture. Okay, number 5. This board feels smooth. This board feels smooth. So now take a look up here. Up, feel. So we have feels is our linking verb. Put LV above it. Then what feels? The board feels, right? So the board is our subject. Okay, so what does the board feel? Or how does the board feel, right? So that would be the board feels smooth. Smooth is describing the board. So that would be our predicate adjective, and we would put PA above the line. Do you see where we're going with all of this? This is predicate adjective. So you just ask yourself those questions. First, what's our linking verb? Then what is our subject? And then what is describing that subject? And that would be the predicate adjective. So go ahead and complete 6 through 10 on your own. And then you can push pause right now. And then we will continue with Think Bee. Okay. So I hope that you paused and finished 6 through 10. And now we're going to move on to Think Bee. So it says draw 2 lines under each linking verb. Now, draw 1 line under the subject. So now this is the same thing that we've always done when it comes to our verb and our subject. And then you're going to write, if the italicized, remember that word that has the little funky look to it, okay? If that is PN for predicate nominative, or if it's PA for predicate adjective. Okay, so now what I want you to remember is that you are looking to find out if one is complementing the subject, okay, and whether it is renaming it or whether it is describing it. And that's the difference between the two, okay? So let's take a look at number 1. It says, this is on Think Bee, page 282. It says, the wind was bitterly cold. The wind was bitterly cold. So what is our verb? Was, right, that's a state of being verb, but it's also your linking verb, okay? So we double underline was, and then what was? What was the wind, right? So we're going to go ahead and single underline wind. Now we're going to look at cold. The word cold is the word that's italicized. Now, is that a predicate nominative, renaming wind? So wind, cold, are we renaming it? Or is cold an adjective describing the wind? So then we would write predicate adjective. So what do you think? It's predicate adjective. You're right. So go ahead and write PA on the line. Okay. So now, number 2, it says habit is the result of practice. Okay? That's why we practice our spelling words and our math, and we practice language, because then practice, habit is the result of practice, right? Because then we'll learn these things if we keep practicing them, okay? So let's take a look. What is our verb? Our verb is, that's right, because is up on the board. Remember, keep checking this list. It'll help you. It's always your state of being verbs and then sometimes these other linking verbs, okay? So is our verb, double underline that, and what is? Habit, you're right. I know it's kind of a unique subject, but it is. Habit is the subject, so we single underline that. And then we look at result, okay? So now let's take a look. Is result renaming habit, or is it describing habit? It's renaming it. So that is a predicate nominative. So go ahead and put PN on the line. Okay? Now turn to number 3. It says the swing should be higher. Okay? The swing should be higher. So now taking a look at our words, we have be, and then we also have, thinking of our helping verbs, Should, you're right. So double underline should be as your verb. Now what should be? The swing should be, right? So single underline swing, you're right. And then what is the italicized word? It's higher. So now let's find out, is higher renaming swing or is it describing the swing? It's describing the swing. So go ahead and put PA on the line for predicate adjective because it was describing. Number 4 says, our host was a tall, thin man. Our host was a tall, thin man. So what is our verb? Look at our board. Was, you're right. And who was? The host was. So we would have double underlined was for the verb, the linking verb, and then host is our subject, so single underline that. And then take a look at the word that's in italicized, and that is man. Man, is that renaming host or is it describing host? It's renaming host. So we're going to go ahead and put PN on the line for predicate nominative because man was renaming the host. See how we're going with all of this? Okay, awesome, you guys. I want you guys to go ahead and do 5 through 9 on your own, asking the questions just the way I did, and I know you'll be able to do it. So go ahead and press pause now. You can complete those, and then you can continue the rest of the lesson. Okay, and I just realized that on the next page 283, you're going to complete 10 through 15 on your own of the same things we were just doing. Okay? Okay. Hope you guys understood how to do that with knowing the difference between the predicate nominative or the predicate adjective. Okay, so now we're going to go on to think C. Now, this is saying a predicate adjective must modify the subject. Be able to explain why the following italicized adjectives are not predicate adjectives. Okay, draw an arrow to the word that each one modifies. Okay, so when it says she is a true friend, I want you to look at that and see that true is not modifying she. It's actually modifying what type of friend she is. So we would actually draw an arrow that goes from true to friend because you will then see that she is not being modified by true, but friend is true is modifying friend. Okay, now take a look at number 2. I am a very fortunate girl. Now, once again, look at fortunate. Is fortunate modifying I? No, it's modifying what type of girl. So we're going to draw that arrow for that adjective modifying girl. Number 3 is my teacher is a spelling expert. That is not me. I'm not a spelling expert. But in this case, that teacher is. So spelling is modifying what? Is it modifying the teacher by saying that that's renaming the teacher, or it's explaining or describing the teacher? No, because spelling is modifying what type of expert she is. So you're going to go ahead and draw your arrow from spelling to expert. Okay, and then number 5. Number 4. New York is our largest city, right? So largest is modifying what? City, right. It's not modifying New York because it's not describing New York. If you were to say New York City is large, then yeah, we would definitely be saying that large is our predicate adjective. But in this case, predicate adjective is not in this sentence at all. It's actually just a regular adjective, and that adjective is describing the city, not New York, right? So then number 5 says Columbus was the courageous discoverer of the New World. So now we take a look. Courageous, is courageous describing Columbus, or is it describing discoverer? It's describing discoverer because it actually comes right before that, and we know that it's modifying it. So we would draw an arrow there. Now, keep in mind, if you just said Columbus was courageous, then courageous would be modifying Columbus. But at this point, it's not. It's actually modifying discover. So go ahead and complete